The arena is dark and full of theories.
The arena. Rocky outcropping, northwest sector. Day 9, approximately 11 p.m. Peeta Mellark has been deteriorating for 60 hours. The blood poisoning from the tracker-jacker venom potentiated wound on his leg has progressed beyond the point where his body can fight it without intervention. Temperature 103.7 degrees Fahrenheit, and rising. Intermittently lucid. Katniss sits beside him, bow within reach, watching the cave entrance, watching him, alternating between the two because she cannot protect against external threats, and internal collapse simultaneously. Peeta's eyes open, clearer than they've been in 12 hours. He sees her and tries to smile, fails, tries to speak. Katniss, I'm here. Don't talk. Save your strength. For what? His voice is wet, struggling. We both know. Don't. The feast is tomorrow. Haymitch will send something. Medicine. Something. She grips his hand. You just have to hold on until morning. What if there's nothing at the feast? There will be. What if you don't make it back? Can't answer that. Because they both know the career pack will be at the feast. That Clove will be there, and Cato, and the odds of Katniss retrieving a backpack and returning alive are not good. Peeta shifts. Pain crosses his face. Listen to me. If I don't, if this doesn't. Stop. You have to win. Peeta. Not for you. For them. For your mother and Prim. They need you to come home. He squeezes her hand. Weak. Promise me you'll win. I promise. She says it because he needs to hear it. Because keeping him calm is the only thing she can control right now. And Katniss? His eyes are starting to unfocus again. Fever climbing. Remember something. The Capitol doesn't get to define what you are. You're not a tribute. You're not their entertainment. You're Katniss Everdeen, who kept her family alive for 4 years, who volunteered for her sister, who covered Rue in flowers. His breathing is ragged. Whoever you are after this, you were that first. Don't let them take it. She wants to tell him she understands, wants to tell him she'll remember, but her throat has closed, and the words won't come. His eyes close. Breathing shallow, Katniss sits beside him through the night, bow across her lap, watching the cave entrance and listening to the sound of him dying. Day 10, 3:17 a.m. Peeta Mellark dies. No canon. Not yet. The game makers wait until sunrise for maximum dramatic impact. Want the Capitol audience to wake up to the news. Katniss sits with him for 2 minutes. The Capitol cameras don't cut away. Viewing figures across the Capitol increase as word spreads that something is happening. 15 seconds where the viewership actually spikes because everyone is calling their friends, telling them to turn it on. The boy from 12 is dead and the girl is just sitting there. Then Katniss covers his face with his jacket, picks up her bow, walks out of the cave into the pre-dawn dark. Her face is blank, completely blank. The cameras follow her. Production team makes the choice not to cut back to the body. The body is no longer the story. The girl with the bow, walking into the darkness with no expression, is the story. She has become something the game makers haven't encountered before. A tribute who has nothing left to lose and knows it. This makes her simultaneously more dangerous and more compelling. She is the most watchable she has ever been. And she has stopped watching back. Day 10, 6 a.m., the cornucopia feast announcement. Claudius Templesmith's voice across the arena. Attention tributes. There will be a feast at the cornucopia today at sunrise. Each of you needs something desperately. You will find that something in a backpack marked with your district number. Katniss knows what this means. Medicine for Peeta. Except Peeta is dead. She goes anyway. Not for medicine. For weapons. For supplies. Because the feast is where the remaining tributes will be, and she has decided with perfect clarity that she will kill every single one of them. The cornucopia. Dawn. 4 tributes remaining. Cato from District 2. Clove from District 2. Thresh from District 11. Katniss from District 12. Katniss arrives first. Takes position in the tree line. Bow ready. Watching. The backpacks appear on tables at the mouth of the cornucopia. One marked with a 12. That was meant to save Peeta. She doesn't move for it. Doesn't need it. Needs the tributes to come to her. Clove arrives, running. Fast. Heads straight for the backpack marked 2. Grabs it. Katniss draws. Releases. Arrow takes Clove in the throat. Clean. Efficient. Clove drops. Cannon fires. Cato roars. Emerges from the cornucopia where he was waiting in ambush. Sees Clove's body. Sees Katniss in the trees. You. He charges. Katniss doesn't run. Draws again, releases. Arrow hits his body armor. Doesn't penetrate. He keeps coming. She runs. Not panicked. Calculated. Leading him away from the cornucopia. Into the woods. Into terrain she controls. For 3 days, she hunts him, not following him, hurting him. She tracks his movements by reading the arena's animal behavior. Disturbed birds. Territorial reshuffling in canopy. Water source access patterns. Builds a map of his patrol circuit in her head over 36 hours. Then she stops hunting him and starts destroying his resources. His food caches, she can smell the preserved capital food from 20 meters. Forces him onto her terms. Day 13. The mutts. Game makers deploy them in the forest. Not at the cornucopia. In the trees, forcing the final confrontation. The mutts have the dead tributes features. Katniss encounters the one with Rue's eyes first. Shoots it. Doesn't hesitate. Doesn't think. Then the one with Peeta's eyes. She stands very still for 5 seconds. The Capitol audience watching their screens doesn't know what they're seeing. A girl choosing in real time to stay functional. To stay a hunter. To not be a person who feels things. Just until this is done. She shoots it. Keeps moving. Cato is in the trees ahead, running from his own mutts. The pack is herding both of them toward the cornucopia. They reach it, simultaneously. Climb. Cato reaches the top first. Turns. Sees Katniss. In the canonical timeline, this is where Cato delivers his final speech. About being a piece in their games. About wanting it to end. In this timeline, Katniss doesn't give him the chance. Arrow through his throat from 20 feet. He drops into the mutt pack. They tear him apart. Katniss doesn't watch. Turns away. Waits. The mutts retreat. Silence. Just her on the cornucopia. Cato's body below. Cannon fires. Claudius Templesmith. Ladies and gentlemen, the victor of the 74th Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen. She doesn't cry. Doesn't raise her bow. Doesn't react. Just stands in the center of the blood field and looks up at the sky. The expression Caesar Flickerman will eventually call haunted, the word more accurate, that no one in the Capitol is equipped to use, is emptied. The Capitol, Remake Center. 3 days later, Katniss sits in the preparation chamber, while her prep team works. Flavius, Vania, Octavia. Chattering, excited. The victor is home. She says nothing, hasn't spoken since the arena. Lets them work. Cinna enters. Dismisses the prep team. Sits across from her. How are you feeling? Katniss looks at him. First direct eye contact she's made in 3 days. I don't know. That's honest. Cinna pulls out sketches. I'm dressing you for the victory interview. Caesar's going to ask about Peeta, about the cave, about everything. You need to be ready. I don't know what to say. Then don't say much. Answer what he asks. Keep it brief. The Capitol wants to feel your grief. They want to cry with you. Give them enough to satisfy that and nothing more. They want to cry about the boy they killed. Yes, that's exactly what they want. And you're going to let them. Because if you don't, if you defy them, if you make them feel implicated, Snow will make sure you don't leave this building alive. Katniss processes this. What should I wear? Cinna shows her the sketch. Black dress. Stark. Unadorned. References mourning, without spectacularizing it. I'm dressing you in silence, in the only honest thing I can offer you, permission to grieve without performing it. The victory interview. That evening, Caesar Flickerman's stage, massive audience, every screen in Pan Am broadcasting live. Caesar in his powder blue suit, glittering, professional, ready to give the Capitol what they need. Katniss in black, hair down, no makeup beyond what was absolutely necessary. Cinna kept her as plain as possible. Caesar stands as she enters. Audience applauds. Massive. Sustained. She walks to the chair. Sits. Caesar sits across from her. Smile gentle. Practiced. Katniss Everdeen, Victor of the 74th Hunger Games. Welcome home. Thank you. How does it feel? I don't know yet. The audience shifts. Uncomfortable. That's not the answer they need. Caesar adjusts. The games this year they were extraordinary. The star-crossed lovers from District 12. The cave. He pauses. Lets the wait sit. Tell us about Peeta. Katniss looks at him for 4 seconds of dead air. He was better than this. Silence. The audience doesn't know what to do with that. It's not performance, not defiance. A diagnosis. Caesar tries again. He loved you. That was clear to everyone watching. The way he protected you, the way he died, because Clove destroyed the medicine. The medicine at the feast. Yes, she smashed the vial. Before Thresh killed her, there was nothing left to save him with. Katniss's voice is flat, clinical. I came back to the cave with empty hands and watched him die over 18 hours. The audience is silent now. This is not the narrative they were expecting, not the beautiful tragedy, the brutal fact. Caesar shifts. What would you say to Peeta, if you could say anything? I would tell him I'm sorry I wasn't faster. That's not the answer Caesar needed. Not the answer Snow needed. Not a performance of tragic love or defiant grief. Simple statement of failure from a girl who has decided honesty is all she has left because she has nothing left to protect. The Capitol audience watches in silence. The ratings are the highest in Hunger Games history. President Snow's private viewing room. Snow watches the interview. Doesn't move. Cigar smoke curling. White rose in his lapel. His granddaughter sits beside him. She's sad, grandfather. Yes. Why did the boy have to die? Because the games require sacrifice. They remind us that even love cannot overcome the Capitol's power. Snow stands. But the girl, she's not a threat. She's broken. A broken victor is proof that the games consume even those who win. This is useful. What will you do with her? Keep her comfortable. Keep her quiet. Let her fade. Snow extinguishes the cigar. She'll be forgotten in a year. He is making 2 critical assessments simultaneously. Both correct in isolation. Both catastrophically wrong in combination. 1. Katniss Everdeen is not a threat. She is destroyed. Cannot be a symbol. Is cautionary tale instead. 2. She needs careful management, not elimination. That creates martyrdom. Domestication. Enough morphling and distance that she fades. What Snow doesn't realize, he is watching the fire go out and thinking he solved the problem. He doesn't realize he created a vacuum. And vacuums in political systems are always filled by something. District 12. The Seam. 1 week post-games. Gale Hawthorne stands at the fence, watching the woods, waiting. Katniss arrives by train that afternoon. Victor's tour in 3 months. For now, returning home. The entire district turns out. Except Gale doesn't go to the station. Goes to the fence. Knows she'll come here first. She appears an hour later, walking through the Victor's village. 12 houses all empty except Haymitch's, walking past them all. Past the one prepared for Peeta that will never be occupied. Out to the fence. Sees Gale. Stops. They look at each other. Haven't seen each other since the reaping. Since she volunteered for Prim, and everything changed. Gale speaks first. You're alive. Yes. Peeta's not. No. Silence. Gale processing. Katniss waiting. I watched. Every day. The whole seam watched. The cave, the everything. His voice rough. I'm sorry. Don't be. You didn't kill him. The Capitol did. Yes. More silence. Then Gale. What are you going to do now? I don't know. Live in the Victor's village. Do whatever Victors do. The tour in 3 months. After that, she shrugs. I don't know. You could fight. Katniss looks at him sharply. What? You could fight. Use what you have. The visibility, you're a victor. People listen to victors. You could say something. Do something. Make them pay for what they did. I can't. Why not? Because everyone I fight for dies, Gale. Rue died. Peeta died. If I fight, if I do anything, Prim dies. My mother dies. You die. I'm not doing it, so you're just going to sit in that house. Yes. Gale stares at her. That's not you. You don't know what I am anymore. Katniss turns to leave. Neither do I. She walks back to the victor's village. Gale watches her go. Something hardens in him. A decision forming. She won't fight. Fine. He will. The victor's village. Month 1. Post-games. 3 houses. Haymitch's. The empty one at the end prepared for Peeta. Katniss can see it from her kitchen window. She spends most of her time there. Kitchen. Window. Watching the empty house. Drinking the white liquor Haymitch left on her doorstep with a note. Better than morphling. Worse than nothing. Your call. She drinks it. Not all at once. Not dramatically. Methodically. Enough to blur the edges. Enough to sleep. Enough to not think about the cave every waking moment. Prim visits every day. Doesn't ask Katniss to be better. Just shows up. Sits nearby. Does her homework. Leaves food. Katniss's mother tries once. Asks her to come home. To leave the victor's village. To be with family. Katniss says, "This is where victors live. I'm a victor. This is where I live." Her mother doesn't ask again. Haymitch comes by in week 2. Lets himself in. Finds Katniss at the kitchen table. Bottle half empty. Sits across from her. "You're doing it wrong." Doing what wrong? This. The drinking. The isolation. He gestures vaguely. All of it. You're trying to skip to the end state without the intermediate steps. Won't work. Worked for you. Took me 23 years to get this numb. You're trying to do it in 2 weeks. Your body can't process it. Your brain can't process it. You're not functional numb. You're non-functional numb. Different thing. I don't care. I know. That's the problem. Haymitch stands. I'm not going to fix you. Can't fix myself. Can't fix you. But I'm going to keep you alive. Because Peeta asked me to. Before the games. Said if anything happened to him, make sure you get home to Prim. I'm keeping that promise. He's dead. Promises don't die when people do. They just get harder to keep. Haymitch leaves. Eats something. I'll check tomorrow. He does. Every day. Making sure she eats. Keeping the liquor at a pace that's dangerous but not immediately fatal. Maintaining low-grade conversation about nothing that prevents total social disconnection. It's the closest thing to care either of them can manage. Month 3. The victory tour preparation. Effie Trinket arrives. Bright. Cheerful. Completely unprepared for what Katniss has become. Katniss, the tour begins in 1 week. We have so much to prepare. Speeches for each district. Outfits. Cinna's designs are magnificent. The capital is so excited too. I'll read whatever you want me to read. Effie stops. I'm sorry? Give me the speeches. I'll read them. I'll wear what Cinna tells me to wear. I'll do what you tell me to do. Just tell me what to do. Well, yes. That's very cooperative. Effie is unsettled. This is not the girl from the games. Are you feeling all right? I'm fine. What else do you need? Nothing. I'll have the speeches prepared. We leave Monday. Effie leaves. Immediately calls Haymitch. Something's wrong with her. I know. She's not fighting. There's nothing there, Haymitch. It's like talking to a broken victor. That's what she is. That's what the games made her. Haymitch drinks. Just give her the speeches. She'll do the tour. She won't cause problems. Isn't that what the capital wants? I suppose. But, then let it be. She's not a threat. She's just a girl who watched someone die and can't figure out how to be alive after it. The Victory Tour. District 11. Katniss stands at the podium. Prepared remarks in her hands. Effie wrote them. Beautiful words about honor and sacrifice, and the nobility of the games. She reads them. Exactly as written. No deviation. The crowd watches. Families of Rue and Thresh, District 11's dead tributes. The whole district forced to attend. An old man in the crowd whistles. 4 notes. Rue's melody. The 3-finger salute spreads through the crowd. Sign of solidarity. Of respect. First visible public act. Katniss directly witnesses. Peacekeepers respond immediately. Grab the old man. Drag him to the square's center. Execute him. Single shot. In front of everyone, Katniss stands at the podium. Doesn't move. Doesn't react. prepared remark still in her hands. The man died to give her a signal. She received it, cannot send one back. The crowd interprets this correctly. She has nothing left. The girl who volunteered for her sister has been used up by the system. This is what the capital does to all of them eventually. The underground leadership in District 11 notes this, files it for later. The revolution is not sparked, but anger is building, quiet, patient, waiting for something. Month 6, District 12, Gale's operation begins. Gale has spent 6 months watching Katniss disintegrate, bringing food to the victor's village. Sitting in her kitchen while she drinks and stares at walls, telling her about the seam, about his family, about nothing in particular. She listens, doesn't respond much, but listens. He stops trying to reach her in month 6. Not because he doesn't care, because he realizes she's not coming back. Not soon, maybe not ever. The failure of his attempts to help her converts his grief for Peeta into active rage, removes the last relationship tethering him to patience as strategy. He makes contact with a woman who sells cloth scraps in what remains of the black market, middle-aged, quiet. She communicates through knotted thread patterns. She is District 13's agent in District 12. They meet in an abandoned mine shaft. Gale brings information, maps of peacekeeper patrol schedules he's been tracking for months. She brings confirmation. District 13 is real, underground, preparing. We've been waiting for the right moment, the right symbol. We thought it would be the girl. It won't be. She's gone. Then we need someone else. Someone who can organize, who can fight, who can build something. The woman looks at him. Could that be you? Yes. Then let's begin. Month 8. President Snow's assessment. Snow receives routine reports on all living victors. Katniss Everdeen's file is flagged for review. Status: stable. Compliant. No indications of resistance activity. Minimal public presence. Snow reads this. Satisfied. The girl is neutralized. No longer a concern. He closes the file. Moves on to other matters. The 75th games are 18 months away. The quarter quell. He begins considering options for the special twist. In the canonical timeline, he would have designed it to eliminate Katniss specifically. Here, that's unnecessary. She's already eliminated herself. He begins designing something else, something that will reinforce the capital's power, remind the districts of consequences. The idea forming, target the families of dissidents. Known resistors, make the games personal in a new way. He doesn't yet know this will be the worst decision of his political career. Month 12, the mine incident. Gale's first operation. Not weapons, not violence. Information. Methane buildup in mine shaft 7. Accidental. Destroys 3 tons of coal extraction equipment. No casualties, just damage. Except it's not accidental. Gale designed it, timed it, executed it. The capital's infrastructure security apparatus flags it. Suspicious. Investigating. Gale's network goes silent, waiting, watching. The capital sends investigators. Find nothing conclusive. Write it up as equipment failure. Old machinery. Poor maintenance. Close the case. Gale's network breathes. First operation successful. Capital is not omniscient. Can be fooled. They begin planning the next one. Month 14. Romulus threat arrives. New head peacekeeper. Replacing the old one who was deemed insufficiently vigilant after the mine incident. And 2 other accidents. Thread is not the old peacekeeper. He's enforcement. Pure. First action. Closes the hob. All informal trade criminalized. This removes approximately 30% of the seam's food access. Not intended to create food emergency. Intended to demonstrate capital control's means of survival. Actual effect. Demonstrates capital willing to starve children to make a point. Gale watches this. Records it. Uses it. Recruitment increases. Month 15. Katniss and Prim still visits daily. 13 now. Growing up. Learning medicine from their mother. Competent. Warm. She sits in Katniss's kitchen. Doing homework. Katniss at the table. Bottle half empty. Watching the window. The empty house. Katniss. Yeah. Do you think about him? Every day. What do you think about? What he said. In the cave. About not letting them define what I am. Katniss drinks. I think about how I failed at that. How I let them turn me into exactly what they wanted. Broken victor. Cautionary tale. You're not broken. Yes, I am. Then fix yourself. Katniss looks at her sister. 13 years old. Direct. Honest. I don't know how. Figure it out. Because I need you. Mom needs you. And Peeta wouldn't want this. Prim closes her book. He died asking you to win. You won. Now what? She leaves. Katniss sits alone, thinking about that question. Now what? Doesn't have an answer. Not yet. But it's the first time in 14 months she's asked it. Month 16. Threads escalation. Peacekeeper patrols increased. 4-hour cycles to 2-hour cycles. Extended into seam residential areas. Previously only nominal oversight. Now constant. Stop and search authority. Liberal exercise. 2 seam residents publicly flogged for possession of unauthorized food. Self-caught game from beyond the fence. Haymitch watches from his porch. Says nothing. Records it in a notebook he started keeping. Gale watches too. From the crowd. Says nothing. But that night he meets with his network. 20 people now. Growing. They're pushing. Testing how much we'll take. We need to push back. Carefully. Make them think twice about escalating. How? Peacekeeper weapons cache. There's one in the district. We're going to relocate it. Steal it? Relocate it. They'll think it's theft. Supply chain problem. Not organized resistance. Not yet. They execute the plan 3 days later. Successful. 4 peacekeeper weapons crates disappear. No witnesses, no evidence. Capitol writes it up as theft, increases security, but doesn't escalate further. Gale's network breathes again. Building capability. Building confidence. Waiting for the right moment. Month 18. Haymitch and Katniss. Haymitch finds Katniss in her usual spot. Kitchen. Window. Bottle. I need to tell you something. What? The 75th Games. Quarterquell. Reapings in 4 months. I know. You're going to have to mentor. Both tributes. I can't do it alone. Katniss looks at him. Why not? You've been doing it for 23 years. And I'm tired. And you're a victor. It's your responsibility too. I can't. You can. You will. Because those kids deserve someone who's not drunk trying to keep them alive. Haymitch sits. I'm not asking you to be the Mockingjay. Not asking you to lead a rebellion. Just asking you to show up. Do the job. Keep 2 kids alive if you can. I couldn't keep Peeta alive. Peeta had blood poisoning in an arena with no medicine. That's not on you. That's on the Capitol. On Snow. On the system that put you there. Haymitch leans forward. But these kids, they're going to have 2 mentors who know how to win. Who know how to work the sponsors. Who know the game. Give them that chance. Katniss is quiet for a long time. Okay? Okay? I'll mentor. I'll show up. I'll try. It's the first commitment she's made in 18 months. Small. But something. Month 20. The work stoppage. Gale's operation has grown. 200 active members. Communication channels to Districts 8 and 11. Coordinated resistance network. Time for visible victory, not just sabotage. Demonstration that organized resistance can win. Mineshaft 4. District 12's most productive. Work stoppage. 14 hours. Thread sends peacekeepers into the shaft. Miners refuse to move. Thread threatens to seal the shaft. Miners call the bluff. Correctly. Thread cannot afford to destroy productive coal shaft to make disciplinary point. Capitol's energy budget doesn't have that margin. Thread backs down. Miners return to work. First visible victory in District 12's underground resistance. The Seam has watched Capitol win every confrontation for 73 years. Just watched carefully organized work stoppage force peacekeeper commander to back down. Gale doesn't celebrate. Begins planning next action immediately. Sends report to District 13. Threshold reached. Population ready to act. Awaiting the Quell's design. Month 22. The Quarter Quell announcement. President Snow on the balcony of Presidential Mansion. Reading from sealed card he wrote himself. On this, the 75th anniversary of the Dark Days, as a reminder that those who threaten the peace of Panem threaten the safety of all its citizens. The tributes of the 75th Hunger Games will be reaped from among the families of those who have engaged in acts of insurrection against the capital's lawful authority. Broadcast across Panem. Every district. Mandatory viewing. District 12. The Seam. Gale watching with his family. His mother looks at him. You're on that list. I know. Yes, his youngest brother Rory, 12 years old. Will they take me? Maybe one of the others? Maybe Mom. Gale looks at each of them. But whatever happens, you do what I told you. Follow the plan. Get out if you can. His mother. What about you? I'll be in the arena, or I'll be dead. Either way, you follow the plan. The Reaping. District 12. 2 weeks later, the eligible pool. Families of known dissidents. In District 12, that's 40 names. Mostly Seam. Mostly minors. Mostly people who participated in the work stoppage or were reported by Thread's informants. First name drawn, Lena Cartwright. 14. Daughter of a miner who participated in the stoppage. Not a resistor herself, just had lunch with her father that day. She walks to the stage, crying, terrified. Second name, Gale Hawthorne. He walks to the stage. No expression. Doesn't need escort. Stands at the microphone, looks out at the crowd, finds his mother, holds eye contact until she nods. Once. Precise. I know. Do what you told me. Katniss is at the back of the crowd, required to attend as District 12's victor. Has stood at the back of Reapings for 14 months, reading prepared remarks, returning to Victor's village. When Gale's name is called, something happens in her face. Not dramatic awakening, not return of the Mockingjay. Something smaller, more precise. Reactivation of the neural pathway that causes a person to say no. Not to the capital. Not to Snow. Not yet. Just no to the specific proposition that Gale Hawthorne is going to die in the arena while she stands at the back reading index cards. She pushes to the front. Peacekeepers try to stop her. I'll be his mentor. Effie Trinket freezes. I'm sorry. His mentor, I'm claiming the role. I'm District 12's victor. I have the right. Effie looks at Haymitch. Haymitch nods. She does. Victors can claim mentorship. Well, yes. I'll process the paperwork. Katniss looks at Gale. He looks back. First time they've made real eye contact in 2 months. Something passes between them. Understanding. Recognition. She's awake. Finally. Not recovered. Not healed. But awake. And now she's going to fight. The train to the capital. Gale, Lena, Katniss, Haymitch, Effie. Lena sits by the window, 14 years old. Crying quietly. Hasn't stopped since the reaping. Gale sits across from her. Calm. Too calm. The calm of someone who prepared for this. Katniss stands at the doorway, watching them. First time in 22 months she's had to think about keeping someone alive who isn't herself. Haymitch appears beside her. You sure about this? No. Good. If you were sure, I'd worry. Being a mentor isn't about certainty. It's about doing the work anyway. He drinks. What's your plan? I don't have one yet. Then start developing one. Train leaves in 4 hours. You've got until then to figure out what you're going to tell them. Katniss walks into the dining car. Sits across from Gale. We need to talk. Yes. What have you been doing for the last 22 months? And don't tell me nothing. I know you, Gale. You don't sit still. He considers this. Looks at Lena. She's not listening. Lost in her own fear. Building something. A network. People who are tired of watching the capital take everything. We've been preparing. For what? For this. For the moment when the capital pushes too far and people are ready to push back. And you think that moment is now? I think Snow just reaped the children of everyone who's been quietly resisting for years. Every tribute in these games is the family member of someone who chose to fight back. Snow thinks that'll break us. He's wrong. It's going to unify us. Katniss processes this. You're talking about rebellion. I'm talking about survival. The capital's system doesn't work anymore, Katniss. It's breaking. People can see it. They just need someone to show them it can be broken. That's not me. I know. It doesn't have to be you. But it has to be someone. Gale leans forward. What I need from you is simple. Keep me alive until I can get out of that arena. There's a plan. People waiting. I just need to survive long enough to execute it. What plan? Can't tell you. Not yet. You'll know when it happens. He looks at her directly. Can you do that? Can you keep me alive? 22 months ago, Katniss would have said yes immediately. Would have promised anything. Now she's learned what promises cost. I'll try. That's all I can promise. I'll try. That's enough. The Capitol. Remake Center. 2 days later, Katniss sits while her prep team works. Flavius, Vania, Octavia. Same people. Same chatter. They remember her from last year. The tragic victor. Peeta's grieving widow. They don't know what to make of this version. The one who's present. Watching. Listening. Cinna enters. Dismisses them. You're different. Yes. Good different or bad different. I don't know yet. Katniss looks at him. What are you dressing me in? For the tribute parade. Fire. Same as last year. Because it worked. Because the Capitol remembers. Because Peeta wore fire too, and they'll make the connection. Cinna sits. For the interview. I don't know yet. Depends on what you're going to say. I don't know what I'm going to say. Then figure it out. Because you have 3 days. And whatever you say, it needs to satisfy the Capitol without giving Snow a reason to kill you before the games even start. That's a narrow margin. Yes. Welcome to being a mentor in a quarter quell designed to punish resistance. Every word you say will be analyzed. Every gesture watched. Snow is looking for reasons to eliminate threats. Don't give him one. What if I am a threat? Small. Careful. Then be a quiet threat. The kind that doesn't announce itself. The kind that waits. The Training Center. Day 1. 24 tributes. All family members of known dissidents. Ages range from 12 to 21. Gale is one of the oldest. Lena, one of the youngest. Katniss watches from the mentor observation gallery. Haymitch beside her. Other mentors around them. Tense. Quiet. Everyone knows what this quell means. Finnick Odair is there. District 4. 2 tributes from his district. His younger sister, 15, and a cousin, 17. He catches Katniss's eye across the gallery. Nods once. Recognition. Beatty from District 3. 2 tributes from families of factory workers who sabotaged Capital Electronics production. He's small, nervous, brilliant. Keeps adjusting his glasses. Johanna Mason, District 7. Her tributes are children of lumber workers who'd been hoarding explosives in timber shipments. She looks angry. Has looked angry since the reaping. Below, the tributes begin training. Gale heads straight for weapons. Hand-to-hand combat. He's good. Very good. Better than most careers. The boy from District 2. Career 18. Trained since childhood. Watches Gale. Approaches. You know what you're doing. I've had practice. Not arena practice. Real practice. Where'd you learn to fight like that? The woods. The mines. Anywhere the Capitol wasn't watching closely enough. Gale doesn't stop drilling. You. Training center in District 2. Been preparing for this my whole life. Except I was supposed to volunteer. Win glory for my district. Not get reaped because my father spoke against the Capitol in a public meeting. The boy spits. I'm Marcus. My father's in prison now. Because of what he said. They made me watch them take him. I'm Gale. My whole district knows I've been organizing resistance. They just couldn't prove it until the work stoppage. Then Thread put me on the list. Marcus processes this. You organized a work stoppage? Yes. And it worked? For 14 hours. Then we went back to work. But Thread backed down. First time anyone in District 12 saw a peacekeeper back down. Marcus looks around. Other tributes training. How many of these tributes are from families like ours? Real resistors. Not just people who got caught in the wrong place. Most of them. That's Snow's mistake. He thinks putting us in the arena together will make us kill each other, show the districts that resistance is futile, that we'll turn on each other. Won't we? Not if we're smarter than that. Gale stops drilling, looks at Marcus directly. What if we didn't fight each other? What if we fought them? The game makers, the system. What if we made these games about something other than what Snow wants them to be about? Marcus is quiet. Thinking. Then, I'd need to know more. About what you're planning. Who else is involved? Come to the District 1, 2 floor tonight, after midnight. I'll tell you. The mentor gallery. Katniss watching this conversation. Can't hear what they're saying, but can see the body language. Gale recruiting. Building alliances. Same thing he did in District 12. Haymitch notices too. Your tribute's making friends. He's making allies. Different thing. Same outcome in the arena. Better odds. Haymitch leans forward. Question is whether you can support what he's building. Sponsors. Supplies. Information. That's your job. I know. Do you? Because last time you were in this building you were a tribute. Now you're a mentor. That means thinking 3 moves ahead. Means working the capital system. Means making people like you enough to send money when it matters. I don't care if they like me. Then your tribute dies. That's the equation. You want to keep Gale alive? Make the capital sponsors want to keep him alive. That means giving them a story they care about. Katniss looks at Haymitch. What story? The one where you're the tragic victor who lost her love last year and is fighting desperately to save her best friend this year. They'll eat that up. Grieving girl. Loyal mentor. Doing everything she can. Haymitch drinks. It's not even a lie. You are trying to save him. Just let them think it's about emotion instead of rebellion. That night, District 12 floor. After midnight, Gale's room. Door unlocked. He's waiting. Marcus arrives first. Then a girl from District 8. 16, daughter of textile workers who'd been smuggling rebel communications and fabric shipments. Then Beatty's tribute from District 3. 17, son of a factory supervisor who'd been sabotaging Capital Electronics. 6 tributes total. Meeting in a room that probably has cameras. Being careful anyway. Gale speaks first. Quiet. Direct. Here's what I know. District 13 is real. They're underground. They've been preparing for revolution for years. They have a plan to extract tributes from this arena. Not all of us. But some. The ones who can be useful to the rebellion. Marcus. How do you know this? Because I've been working with their agents in District 12 for months. This quell. Snow thinks it's punishment. They think it's opportunity. 24 tributes all connected to resistance networks. Put us all in one place. Some of us are going to survive together. The girl from District 8. What's the extraction plan? I don't know details yet. My mentor will get the signal. When it happens, we need to be ready. Need to be positioned. Need to trust each other enough to move together. BD's tribute. Why should we trust you? Because every person in this room is here for the same reason. We're the children of people who said no to the capital, who chose resistance over compliance, who knew the risks and did it anyway. Gale looks at each of them. We can die in this arena fighting each other for Snow's entertainment, or we can survive together and fight for something that matters. Your choice. Silence. Then Marcus. I'm in. The girl from District 8. Me too. One by one. All 6. Gale. Then here's what we do. Train together. Build trust. Make alliances look natural. When my mentor gives the signal, and she will, we move. Fast. Together. Understood. They nod. Meeting over. They leave separately. Careful. Quiet. In the mentor gallery observation room, Plutarch Heavensby watches this on a screen the other game makers can't see. Smiles. The pieces are moving into position. The training sessions. Days 2 and 3. Katniss works with Gale and Lena separately. Lena first. 14. Terrified. No combat skills. No survival skills. Just a girl who happened to be born into the wrong family. I can't do this. I'm going to die in there. Maybe. Probably. But maybe not. Katniss sits across from her. Here's what I can teach you in 3 days. How to hide. How to find water. How to identify plants that won't kill you. How to stay alive long enough for the careers to kill each other off. That's all. I can't make you a fighter, but I can make you someone who survives the first week. And then what? Then you stay hidden until the end. Until there's only a few left. Then you pray someone makes a mistake you can exploit. That's not much of a plan. It's the only plan you have. Katniss leans forward. Rue, the girl from District 11 last year, 12 years old. She survived 8 days. She wasn't a fighter. She was smart. Fast. Good at hiding. You can do that. You can be that. Lena wipes her eyes. Will you help me? During the games? I'll send you everything I can. Sponsors willing to pay. But Lena, you need to understand something. I have 2 tributes. You and Gale. I can't save both of you. When it comes down to it, I'm choosing him. Not because I don't care about you. Because he has a better chance. Because the rebellion needs him more than it needs either of us. Do you understand? Yes. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's honest. That's more than most mentors give. Lena stands. Teach me how to hide. Katniss does. 3 days of intensive survival training, edible plants, water sources, camouflage, evasion techniques, everything Rue knew, everything Katniss learned in the woods. Lena absorbs it. Smart girl. Fast learner. Won't be enough. Probably won't be enough. But it's something. Gale's training different. He doesn't need survival skills. Needs tactical coordination. Needs to understand the extraction plan. Katniss meets him on the District 12 floor. Private. The signal's coming from Plutarch Heavensby. Head game maker. He's working with District 13. I don't know details. But Haymitch says watch for environmental patterns, specific sequences in the arena's design. When you see them, move. Move where? That's the part I don't know. But you'll know when it happens. Trust the plan. Trust Plutarch. Trust that District 13 didn't spend years preparing just to let you die in that arena. And if the extraction fails, then you survive the old-fashioned way. Outlast everyone else. Make alliances. Be smart. Be ruthless when you have to be. Katniss grips his shoulder. I watched Peeta die because I couldn't get medicine fast enough. I'm not watching you die because I didn't prepare you. You're getting out of that arena, one way or another. What about Lena? I'm doing what I can. Teaching her to hide, to survive. But Gale, if it comes down to choosing, choose me. I know. I understand. He's quiet. She's a good kid. Didn't deserve this. None of you deserved this. But you're the one who can make it mean something. So I'm choosing you. The tribute interviews, night before the games. Caesar Flickerman's stage. 24 tributes. Each gets 3 minutes. Katniss watches from backstage. Gale's interview is 17th. Lena's is 18th. The tributes before them play different angles. Some tragic, some defiant, some trying to seem harmless, all desperate. Then Gale's turn. Caesar, Gale Hawthorne, District 12, welcome. Your father was a miner, yes? And you've worked the mines yourself? Since I was 12. That's young. That's District 12. You work or you starve. Those are the options. Gale doesn't smile, doesn't perform, just states facts. Caesar shifts, uncomfortable. And your mentor is Katniss Everdeen, the victor from last year, the girl who lost Peeta Mellark in the cave. That must create interesting dynamics. She's the best mentor I could ask for. She knows how to survive, how to win, how to keep fighting when everything's gone wrong. That's what I need. You two are friends? From District 12? We hunted together, beyond the fence. Illegal, technically. But necessary. We kept our families fed. We kept each other alive. Gale looks directly at the camera. We're good at keeping each other alive. That's not going to change. The audience reacts, murmuring, the narrative taking shape. Tragic Victor trying to save her best friend, the boy from the seam who's a fighter. It's compelling. It's watchable. Snow, watching from his mansion, makes a note. Gale Hawthorne. Potentially problematic, but useful for ratings. Let him live long enough to give the Capitol a good show, then eliminate him. Lena's interview shorter. Less confident. Caesar tries to draw her out. She gives him very little. Scared girl. Daughter of a dissident. No particular skills. Classic early elimination. But she says one thing that resonates. My father told me that fear is what keeps us alive, that the Capitol wants us to stop being afraid, to accept their system, but being afraid means you're still thinking, still fighting. I'm afraid. That means I'm still alive. It's not much, but it's honest. The audience appreciates honesty. After the interviews, Katniss finds Gale and Lena backstage. You did well, both of you. The sponsors are interested. That means money when you need it. Supplies. Medicine. Whatever I can send. Tomorrow, noon. You'll be taken to the arena in the morning. Preparation time. Then the gong. Katniss looks at both of them. Listen to me. The first day is chaos. The bloodbath at the cornucopia kills half the tributes in the first 5 minutes. Do not go for the cornucopia unless you're absolutely certain you can get supplies and get out. Run. Hide. Survive the first day. After that, we can strategize. Lena, what if I can't run fast enough? Then hide before the gong even sounds. During the 60-second countdown, look for cover. Trees, rocks, anything. The moment that gong sounds, disappear. The careers will be focused on the cornucopia. Let them kill each other. Gale. And if the extraction happens during the first day, then you'll see the signal, and you move. But assume it doesn't. Assume you're in there for days. Assume you have to survive traditionally. That's the safe bet. They nod. Understanding. Katniss pulls Gale aside. Last private conversation before the arena. Peeta told me something. In the cave. Before he died, he said the capital doesn't get to define what I am. That I'm Katniss Everdeen, who kept her family alive, who volunteered for her sister, who covered Rue in flowers. Whoever I am after, I was that first. Why are you telling me this? Because you're Gale Hawthorne, who kept his family fed for years, who organized a resistance network while the capital was watching, who stood up when everyone else sat down. Whatever happens in that arena, whatever you have to do to survive, you were that first. Don't let them take it. Gale grips her hand. I won't. And Katniss? Thank you. For waking up. For fighting. For everything. Don't thank me yet. Thank me when you're out. The arena. Day 1. Launch platforms. 24 tributes on platforms arranged in a circle around the cornucopia. Gale's platform is third from the left. Lena's is directly opposite. They can see each other across the arena. The cornucopia sits in the center. Supplies stacked. Weapons. Food. Medicine. Everything they need. Everything that will get most of them killed. The arena is coastal. Series of interconnected islands separated by fast-moving tidal channels. Environmental hazards visible. Extreme tidal events. Predatory marine fauna in the water. And above, dark clouds gathering. Storm system building. Katniss recognizes it from the schematics Haymitch showed her. The electrical storm is the key, the extraction mechanism. She just doesn't know when it activates. 60-second countdown begins. Gale scans the arena, cornucopia, other tributes, islands beyond, looking for the signal. Doesn't see it yet. Lena is shaking on her platform, terrified, looking for somewhere to run. 50 seconds. Gale makes eye contact with Marcus from District 2, nods toward the outer islands. Marcus nods back, understanding. They run away from the cornucopia, not toward it. 40 seconds. The career tributes, there are 6, including Marcus, but he's defecting, position themselves to charge the cornucopia. Weapons. Supplies. They'll control the center. Standard strategy. 30 seconds. Katniss in the mentor gallery watches. Heart pounding. Can't help them now. Can only watch. 20 seconds. Lena spots a cluster of rocks on her island. Close. Maybe 30 feet. She can reach it before anyone reaches her. Decides. That's where she's going. 10 seconds. Gale tenses. Ready. Not for the cornucopia. For the water. For the outer islands. For survival. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The gong sounds. Chaos. The career tributes charge the cornucopia. Weapons grabbed. Immediate combat. 3 tributes dead in the first minute. The careers are efficient. Brutal. Gale runs for the water. Dives in. Swims hard for the outer islands. Marcus with him. 2 others from his alliance. The girl from District 8. Beatty's tribute from District 3. Lena runs for the rocks. Makes it. Disappears into a crevice. Invisible. Smart. The bloodbath continues. 8 tributes dead in 5 minutes. The cannon fires 8 times. The careers control the cornucopia. Setting up camp. Preparing to hunt. By the end of day 1, 16 tributes remaining. Lena alive. Hidden in rocks. No supplies. No water. But alive. Gale alive. On outer island with 3 allies. No supplies yet. But coordinated. Working together. The careers at the cornucopia. 6 tributes. Well armed. Dangerous. 6 other tributes scattered across the arena. Alone. Hiding. Surviving. Katniss in the mentor gallery breathing. Both her tributes survived day 1. That's more than she expected. Haymitch appears beside her. Now the hard part starts. What hard part? They're alive. Keeping them alive. Through the environmental hazards. The career hunts. The game maker interventions. Through whatever Plutarch has planned. Haymitch drinks. This is a quarter quell. Nothing is going to be simple. Day 2. The arena. Gale's alliance on the outer islands establishes base. Freshwater source found. Edible plants. Fish in the tidal channels. Careful fishing, avoiding the predatory species. Marcus, we need supplies. The careers have everything. We have nothing. We have each other. We have position. We have time. Gale scans the horizon. The careers will come hunting eventually. When they do, we use the terrain. Lead them into the tidal channels. Let the environment do the work. The girl from District 8, her name is Twill, points to the clouds. That storm's getting bigger. Building. I've never seen storm clouds move like that. They're deliberate. BT's tribute, his name is Watts, agrees. The atmospheric patterns are wrong. This is artificial. Game maker construction, which means it's going to be used. Question is when and how. Gale, watch for the pattern. Plutarch will signal through the environment. That's what Katniss said. When we see something that doesn't make sense naturally, that's the signal. They watch. Waiting. Lena in her rock crevice. No water. Getting desperate. Knows she has to move. Has to find something. Katniss sends her a sponsor gift. Small. Water bottle. Single serving. Parachute drops into the rocks near her hiding spot. Lena grabs it. Drinks. Relief. Her mentor hasn't forgotten her. Small note attached. Stay hidden. More coming. K. Lena stays hidden. The careers begin their hunt on day 3. 6 tributes. Well armed. Methodical. They split into 2 groups. 3 hunting the inner islands. 3 hunting the outer islands. The group hunting inner islands finds a tribute from District 10. Hiding in seaweed. Kills him. Cannon fires. 15 tributes remaining. The group hunting outer islands spots Gale's alliance. Here's where it gets bad. The career group. The girl from District 1. 18, sword specialist. The boy from District 2. Not Marcus, the other one. 17, spear specialist. The girl from District 4. 16, net and trident. They approach Gale's island. Confident, expecting easy kills. Gale's alliance ready. 4 tributes positioned. Coordinated. The careers arrive. Begin crossing the tidal channel. Gale signals. His alliance moves. Not attacking. Retreating. Leading the careers deeper into the channel. Toward the section where the predatory marine fauna are most active. The District 1 girl realizes the trap. Too late. Something in the water. Large. Fast. Predatory. The District 4 girl screams. Pulled under. Thrashing. Gone. Cannon fires. The other 2 careers panic. Try to retreat. But the tidal current is against them. Strong. Pulling them toward deeper water. The District 2 boy makes it back to shore. Barely. The District 1 girl doesn't. Pulled under. Drowned or eaten. Doesn't matter which. Cannon fires. 13 tributes remaining. The remaining careers at the cornucopia regroup. 4 left. They've lost 2 in one engagement. Not acceptable. Their leader, the boy from District 1, 19, career trainer his whole life, makes a decision. We hunt together. No more splitting up. We find them. We kill them all at once. Overwhelming force. The clouds are massive now. Unnatural. Lightning flashing inside them. But not striking. Just building. Charging. Katniss in the mentor gallery sees this. Recognizes it. This is Plutarch's mechanism. The electrical system. The extraction trigger. She sends a sponsor gift to Gale. Expensive. Cost her most of her sponsor money. But necessary. Small electronic device. Looks like a compass. Actually a signal receiver. Note attached. When it beeps, move to the outer ring. Fast. K. Gale receives it, understands immediately, shows his alliance. This is it, the extraction device. When it activates, we move, together, outer ring of islands. That's where the hovercraft will be. Watts, how do you know? Because my mentor just spent a fortune telling me. She doesn't waste money. This is real. They position themselves, ready, waiting for the signal. Day 5. The extraction the storm reaches critical mass, lightning flashing constantly inside the clouds. Plutarch, in the Game Maker control room, makes the call. Activate the capacitor array. Massive electrical charge builds beneath the central island. The water around it begins to glow, faintly at first, then brighter. The device in Gale's hand beeps. Loud, insistent. Now. Move. Now. His alliance runs toward the outer ring. Fast as they can. The couriers at the cornucopia see them running. Don't understand why. Start to pursue. Plutarch triggers the discharge. 800,000 volts distributed through the salt water surrounding the central islands. The couriers in the water light up. Electrocuted. All 4. Dead instantly. Cannons fire. 4 times. 9 tributes remaining. The arena's environmental system, stressed beyond design parameters, begins to fail. Force field develops structural cracks. Visible distortions in the sky. Plutarch announces over the arena speakers. Critical arena malfunction. Initiating emergency tribute evacuation. Chaos in the Game Maker control room. Other game makers not in on the plan scrambling. Emergency protocols. Confusion. Plutarch activates the extraction protocol. District 13 hovercraft breaches capital airspace. Prepositioned. Waiting for this exact moment. Managed by BT's technical team. They disabled the arena's perimeter sensor array on day 3 using equipment Watts planted. The hovercraft descends. Targeting the outer ring islands. Gale's alliance reaches the extraction point. Looking up. Seeing the hovercraft. Get on, now. They board. 4 tributes. Gale, Marcus, Twill, Watts. But there are 5 other tributes still alive, scattered across the arena, including Lena. The hovercraft can't wait. Can't search. Has maybe 90 seconds before Capitol Security responds. Katniss in the Mentor gallery screaming at the screens. Lena, get to the outer ring. No way to reach the extraction point in time. She doesn't know about the extraction. Doesn't have a device. Just knows the arena is malfunctioning, and the couriers are dead and something is happening. She stays hidden. The hovercraft lifts. Gale and 3 others aboard. 4 tributes extracted. 5 still in the arena. Capitol Security arrives. Interceptor hovercraft. Too late to stop the extraction. But in time to contain the situation, the arena's force field is repaired. Emergency protocols activated. The remaining 5 tributes, including Lena, are still in the arena. The games continue. Katniss watches this. Horror, relief, grief, confusion. All simultaneously. Gale is out. Alive. Safe. Lena is still in there. Caesar Flickerman on the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we've experienced an unprecedented arena malfunction. 4 tributes have been evacuated due to safety protocols. The remaining 5 tributes will continue. The games will continue. The Capitol's authority will continue. He's trying to maintain control of the narrative, trying to frame the extraction as accident rather than rebellion. It's not working. Every district watching knows what just happened. District 13 just stole 4 tributes from a Capitol arena during the games, on live broadcast. The rebellion just went over. President Snow's mansion, emergency meeting. Snow, his advisors, military command, Game Maker leadership. Explain to me how District 13 breached Capitol airspace, extracted 4 tributes from a Hunger Games arena, and escaped without a single Capitol interceptor landing a hit. He's gone, extracted with the tributes. His position as head Game Maker provided cover until the last possible moment. Now he's in the wind. The military commander. The hovercraft used experimental stealth technology. Our systems didn't detect it until it was already descending. By the time our interceptors arrived, it was gone. Unacceptable. District 13 has been underground for 75 years. They should not have military technology superior to ours. They've had 75 years to develop it. Without our oversight, without our restrictions. President Snow, we need to consider the possibility that District 13's military capability exceeds our projections. Snow is silent, thinking, processing. Then, activate thread. Firebomb District 12. Immediately. Sir, 2 problematic victors from that district. An extracted tribute who was organizing resistance. The district is the source. Eliminate it. Make it an example. The civilian casualties are acceptable, are necessary, are the entire point. Snow stands. Do it now, before the other districts start thinking extraction is possible. 4 hours later, District 12. Bombers arrive. No warning. Capital hovercrafts at high altitude. Incendiary bombs. Firebombing pattern. Systematic destruction. But Gale's network prepared for this. Evacuation routes through the woods. Beyond the fence. Forest caches. 800 people reach them. 7,200 don't. Prim Everdeen runs with her mother, following the route Gale described months ago. Smoke behind them. Fire consuming the district. They reach the forest. 40 people in their group, including Greasy Say, including some of Gale's family, including others from the seam. Behind them, District 12 burns. Haymitch doesn't make it. Drunk in his house in the Victor's village when the bombs hit. Doesn't have time to run. Doesn't try. Dies in the fire. Katniss learns this from a Capitol security officer. She's in detention. Not arrested yet, but detained while the situation is assessed. Television in the detention room shows the bombing. Live footage. She watches District 12 burn. Watches her home disappear. Watches everything she knew turn to ash. Asks the officer, "Is my sister alive?" We don't have casualty reports yet. Then find out. Now, 12 hours later, Katniss is extracted from Capitol detention by a Plutarch-organized team. Smuggled out. Complicated operation. Dangerous. But successful. She arrives in District 13, 3 days after the arena breach. Finds Gale. Finds Prim. Finds her mother. 800 survivors from District 12. 7,200 dead, including Haymitch. Katniss doesn't cry. Doesn't scream. Just asks one question. Where's Lena? Still in the arena. The games are still happening? Yes. 5 tributes left. The Capitol's continuing the broadcast, trying to maintain the narrative that everything is under control. Is she alive? Last I heard, hiding. No supplies. But alive. Katniss turns to the person in charge. President Alma Coin. I want to go back for her. That's not possible. You got 4 out. You can get 1 more. We extracted tributes using a carefully planned operation during a specific arena malfunction we engineered. That window is closed. The arena's been reinforced. Capitol security is on high alert. A second extraction attempt would fail and cost lives we can't afford to lose. So she just dies in there. Yes. That's war. People die. The question is whether their deaths accomplish strategic objectives. Lena Cartwright's death accomplishes nothing except satisfying Snow's need to finish the games. We're not risking assets for that. Katniss steps forward. She's 14 years old. She's in there because her father brought her lunch during a work stoppage. She did nothing wrong. She deserves to live. So do 800,000 people across the districts who will die if this rebellion fails. I make decisions based on numbers, Miss Everdeen, not emotions. Coin doesn't blink. Lena Cartwright is a casualty. Accept it. Move on. Katniss wants to hit her, wants to scream, wants to refuse. Instead, she says, I want to fight. Put me in the field. Give me missions. Let me do something other than watch. You want to fight because fighting is easier than grieving. I understand, but I need you for something else. I'm not being the Mockingjay. I know. You've made that clear. But you're still useful. You're a victor. You extracted tributes from an arena during the games. The district saw that, saw you fighting for them. That matters. Coin sits. I'm not asking you to be a symbol. I'm asking you to be a soldier. Use your skills. Reconnaissance, small unit tactics, archery. Everything you learned, surviving the arena. We need that. I need that. Will you do it? Katniss thinks about Peeta, about what he said in the cave, about not letting them define what she is. Then thinks about Lena, still in the arena, still hiding, still going to die because Katniss couldn't save her. Yes, I'll fight. On one condition. What? When we get to Snow. When we capture him. When this is over. He's mine, not yours. Not the rebellion's. Mine. Coin considers this. Agreed. Assuming tactical circumstances permit. They shake hands. The war begins. District 13. Underground complex. Day +3 after the arena breach. The command center is carved from rock, screens everywhere showing district feeds, maps, troop positions, intelligence reports. President Alma Coin presides. Efficient, clinical, absolute authority. Katniss enters with Gale. First operational briefing. They're soldiers now, not mentors, not victors. Soldiers. Coin speaks without preamble. The capital's response to the extraction was predictable. District 12 firebombed, peacekeeper crackdowns in Districts 3, 7, 8, 11, mass arrests, public executions. Snow is demonstrating that resistance has consequences. Gale's face hardens. My home is ash. Yes, and 7,200 people are dead because Snow wanted to make a point. The question is what we do with that fact. Coin displays a map. The district underground networks are activating. Not waiting anymore. The arena extraction showed them rebellion is possible. The firebombing showed them compliance is death anyway. They're ready to fight. What do you need from us? Katniss asks. Coordination. The surface networks have motivation. They lack structure. Training. Weapons. Supply lines District 13 provides those. You provide the connection. You're from District 12. You survived the games. You extracted tributes from an arena. The districts trust you. Coin looks at her directly. I'm not asking you to be the Mockingjay. I'm asking you to be the link between District 13's military and the surface resistance. Can you do that? What happened to Lena? Katniss doesn't move. Is she still alive? Last report? Yes. 3 tributes remaining. Her, a boy from District 6, a girl from District 9. The games are ongoing. Caesar Flickerman is broadcasting them as normal. Pretending the extraction didn't happen. Calling it an unfortunate malfunction that was resolved. How long until one of them wins? Days, maybe a week. The game makers are accelerating. Environmental hazards, forced encounters. They want this finished quickly, want the narrative back under control. Coin's voice is flat. There's nothing we can do for her. Accept it. Katniss accepts nothing, but nods. Because arguing won't save Lena. Fighting might. What's the mission? District 8. Textile workers have seized 3 factories. Capital is sending peacekeepers to retake them. You're going to make sure the workers win. Gale leads ground tactics. You provide precision fire support. In and out. 2 days. Gale, what's our support? District 13 squad. 8 soldiers. Weapons. Supplies. Extraction protocol if things go wrong. Coin stands. You leave in 6 hours. Briefing in 3. Dismissed. They leave. Gale catches Katniss in the corridor. You okay? No. You? No. But we don't get to stop. He looks at her. Haymitch is dead. Lena's dying. District 12 is gone. We can fall apart later. Right now we fight. Is that what Peeta would say? Gale stops. I don't know. He's been dead 22 months. I don't remember anymore what he'd say. I just know what needs to happen. We destroy the capital. We kill Snow. We make sure this never happens again. And after? What kind of world do we build? I don't know. But it has to be better than this. Gale starts walking. Come on. We have 3 hours to prep. District 8. Textile Factory District. Day +5. 3 factories occupied by workers. Approximately 400 people. Armed with improvised weapons. Holding against capital authority. Peacekeepers arrive in force. 200 soldiers. Military-grade weapons. Orders to retake the factories and execute the leadership. Katniss and Gale arrive 12 hours earlier. District 13 squad with them. 8 professional soldiers. BT's technical equipment. Defensive positions. The factory workers' leader is a woman named Bonnie, 45 years old. Textile supervisor for 20 years. Been organizing underground resistance for 10. She meets them on the factory floor. Massive space. Looms silent. Workers converted them to barricade materials. You're the ones from the arena. Yes. You got 4 tributes out. Yes. Can you help you win? Holding is temporary. Winning is permanent. You ready to win? Bonnie smiles. Tired. Determined. We've been ready for 20 years. The battle begins at dawn, day +6. Peacekeepers approach the factory district. Standard formation. Confident, expecting to overwhelm civilian resistance with military force. What they find instead: prepared defensive positions, coordinated fire. Tactical discipline. Gales positioned the workers, turned the factories into fortresses, windows as firing positions, barricades as kill zones, rooftops as sniper nests. Katniss is on the highest rooftop, bow ready. Same precision she had in the arena, same clarity. The peacekeepers advance. She starts firing. First shot, peacekeeper commander, through the throat, drops. Second shot, radio operator, through the chest, communication severed. Third shot, heavy weapons specialist, through the eye. Weapon abandoned. She's not thinking about Peeta, not thinking about Lena, not thinking about anything except the next shot, the next target, the next problem to solve. This is what she's good at. This is what the arena taught her. Reduce complex situations to simple sequences. See target, assess threat, eliminate threat, move to next. The peacekeepers take casualties. 30 in the first hour, fall back, regroup. Their new commander, promoted after Katniss killed the first one, calls for reinforcements. Gale watches from the factory floor. They'll come back with more. We need to end this before they can fortify. District 13 squad leader agrees. Offensive action. Hit them while they're regrouping. Before reinforcements arrive, how many fighters do we have who can actually fight? Bonnie. 50. Maybe 60. The rest are workers. Brave. Committed. Not trained. 60 is enough. Gale starts planning. We hit their staging area. 2 groups. 1 frontal assault. Draw their attention. Second group flanks. Hits their supplies. Their transport. Traps them in the district. Then we finish them. It's brutal. It's efficient. It's the kind of tactic that wins battles at the cost of lives. Bonnie, how many casualties on our side? Probably 20. Maybe more. But if we don't do this, we lose. They retake the factories. Execute the leadership. That's 200 dead instead of 20. Those numbers. You're talking about people. People with families. I know, but those families die too if the capital wins. This is the math. I'm sorry. Gale looks at her. You asked if we can help you win. This is what winning costs. You want to pay it? Bonnie is quiet for a long moment. Then, yes, we pay it. Tell us what to do. The assault happens at dusk. 2 groups, frontal and flanking. Katniss goes with the frontal group, providing cover fire, keeping peacekeepers' heads down while the flanking team moves into position. She fires steadily, methodically. Every arrow finds a target. She's not keeping count anymore. Doesn't matter, just keeps firing. The flanking team reaches the peacekeeper staging area. Plants explosives. BT's design. Triggered remotely. Gale gives the signal. Explosions. Massive. The staging area goes up. Supplies destroyed. Transport vehicles destroyed. 50 peacekeepers killed instantly. The remaining peacekeepers panic. Try to retreat. Find themselves trapped. No supplies. No transport. No command structure. They surrender. Some of them. Maybe 60. The others fight to the last. Die fighting. By nightfall the battle is over. The factories are secure. The peacekeepers defeated. Casualties. 23 workers dead. 41 wounded. Gale's estimate was accurate. 200 peacekeepers dead. 60 captured. Bonnie stands in the factory looking at her dead. 23 people she knew, worked with, organized with, now dead. Was it worth it? Gale, we won. That's what matters. Is it? They're still dead. Yes, but the factory is ours. District 8 is ours. And every other district watching just saw that the capital can be beaten. That's what their deaths bought. That's what makes it worth it. Katniss says nothing, just restrings her bow, counts her remaining arrows, prepares for the next fight. Because there will be a next fight. There always is. Day +8. District 13. Debriefing. Coin reviews the District 8 operation. Satisfied. Successful outcome. Factory district secured. Minimal friendly casualties. Acceptable peacekeeper losses. This is the template. We replicate it across the districts. Gale. What about the prisoners? 60 peacekeepers. What about them? What do we do with them? They're combatants. They fought for the capital. They're executed. Katniss speaks up. They surrendered. Yes. After they lost. Surrender doesn't grant immunity. It grants a trial. We'll try them, find them guilty, execute them. That's not justice. That's revenge. That's war. Coin looks at her. You killed approximately 30 peacekeepers yourself in that battle. Shot them from a rooftop. Those deaths don't bother you? They were shooting back. That's combat. This is execution of prisoners. The distinction is philosophical, not practical. Dead is dead. The question is whether their deaths serve our strategic objectives. Executing them demonstrates we're serious. That surrender doesn't save you if you fought for the wrong side. That encourages future defections before combat rather than surrenders after. Or it encourages them to fight to the death because surrender is execution anyway. Coin smiles. Small. Cold. Then they die fighting. Either way, they're dead. Either way, we win. Katniss looks at Gale. He says nothing. Doesn't object. Accepts Coin's logic. She realizes something in that moment. Something that will haunt the rest of this timeline. Gale has become what the war needs him to be. A man who makes the brutal calculations. Who accepts the costs? Who wins? And there's no Peeta to argue with him. No voice saying, but what are we becoming? No counterweight. Just Coin's clinical efficiency and Gale's tactical ruthlessness, and a war that's going to be won at costs nobody is counting. The 60 peacekeepers are executed 2 days later. No trial. Just executions. Katniss doesn't watch. Doesn't object again. Just goes to the training facility. Fires arrows at targets for 3 hours. Thinking about Peeta. About what he said. About not letting them define what you are. Wondering if she already let them. If they all have. Month 2. The rebellion spreads. District 11 rises. Agriculture workers seize grain stores. Cut off capital food supply. Peacekeepers attempt suppression. 40,000 workers against 2,000 peacekeepers. The workers win. District 11 secured by Day +47. The slogan spreading, not this time. Originally from Chaff and Cedar in the Cruelest Quell timeline, here it comes from Cedar's niece. 18. Killed during the Peacekeeper crackdown, her last words. Becomes the rebellion's motto. Not this time. District 7 next. Lumber workers have been hoarding explosives in timber shipments for months. They use them. Strategic bombing of peacekeeper installations. The district falls in 11 days. District 3 follows technical workers sabotage capital electronics production. District 4 secures the coastline. Maritime logistics. By month 3, the rebellion controls 6 districts. Capital controls 6. The war reaches equilibrium. Brutal. Grinding. Neither side able to achieve decisive victory. Until Gale develops a new doctrine. Month 4. Gale's strategic proposal. Meeting in District 13 Command Center. Coin, Gale, military leadership. Plutarch, Beatty. Gale presents maps. Analysis. Brutal honesty. We can't win a conventional war. The capital has superior technology, central infrastructure, interior supply lines. We're scattered. Decentralized. Guerrilla tactics work for harassment, not for victory. Coin. What do you propose? We change the equation. The capital's power is sustained by civilian comfort. Its population doesn't experience consequences. They watch our children die in arenas, watch our districts burn, but they're insulated. Safe, comfortable, and we bring the consequences home. We target capital infrastructure, power, water, food, medical. We make capital citizens feel the war. When they start suffering, when they start dying, their will to maintain the system collapses. Plutarch objects. That's targeting civilians. That's targeting the system that supports the military. Every capital citizen participates. Consumes benefits had 75 years to object. They didn't. They're non-combatants. They're complicit. There's a difference. Gale displays tactical plans. First target, District 5 power grid. Hydroelectric dam. We destroy it. Capital loses power. Districts 1, 2, 6 lose power. Their quality of life drops. Their comfort drops. Their support drops. Coin. Civilian casualties? In the initial strike? Minimal. The dam's automated. Security staff maybe 20 people. In the follow-up effects? Hospitals lose power. Food storage loses refrigeration. Water treatment loses capacity. Thousands die over weeks. Not from the bombing? From the cascading failures. You're describing systematic infrastructure warfare that kills through deprivation. Yes. It's effective. It's how we win. Gale looks around the room. Anyone have a better plan? Silence. Then BT. I have technical specifications for the dam's vulnerable points. I can provide precision targeting, minimize the blast, maximize the damage. Coin. How long to plan the operation? 2 weeks. Approved. Execute it. Coin looks at Gale. You're right. We can't win fighting their way. We win by making them hurt worse than we do. That's the equation. That's the war. Katniss isn't in this meeting. She's in the field. District 8. Running reconnaissance operations. She doesn't learn about the dam plan until it's executed. Month 5. The dam falls. Gale leads the operation. 12-person team. District 13 soldiers. BT's technical equipment. Precision insertion. They reach the dam at night. Security light. Automated systems. 20 staff. The staff try to resist. Die trying. Charges placed. Timed detonation. Gale's team extracts. 30 minutes later, the dam's control systems explode. Hydroelectric generation stops. Power grid collapses across 3 districts. Capital goes dark. Districts 1, 2, 6 go dark. Within 24 hours, hospitals on emergency power. Food storage spoiling. Water treatment failing. Within a week, thousands dead. Disease. Starvation. Medical emergencies untreated. The capital population, used to abundance, experiences deprivation for the first time in 75 years. They panic. Katniss learns about this from a broadcast. Caesar Flickerman trying to maintain control. Calling it rebel terrorism. Showing footage of suffering capital citizens. She finds Gale in District 13. Day +7 after the dam. You destroyed the dam. Yes. Thousands of people are dying. Yes. Civilians. Non-combatants. Complicit participants in a system that murdered children for entertainment. They had 75 years to object. They celebrated instead. Gale doesn't look away. I did the math, Katniss. Their deaths shorten the war. Save more lives overall. That's the equation. Peeta wouldn't have agreed with that equation. Peeta's dead. He died 23 months ago in a cave. From blood poisoning because the capital designed a system that kills people for entertainment. I'm making sure that system ends. However it takes. By becoming what they are. By winning. However we have to. Gale stands. You want to judge me? Fine. But I'm not going to apologize for doing what works. For making the hard calls? For being willing to pay the price? What price? You're not the one paying it. Those capital citizens are. And how many district citizens did they watch die? How many tributes? How many children? They paid nothing. Felt nothing. Now they feel something. Good. That's justice. Someone the war made. Someone efficient and ruthless and completely certain. Someone with no voice arguing against him. No counterweight. No Peeta. I can't do this anymore. Do what? Fight beside someone who thinks like that. Who makes equations out of people's lives. She turns to leave. Then go. But the war continues, with or without you. And when we win, when Snow is dead and the capital is broken and the system is destroyed, you'll benefit from what I did. Whether you want to admit it or not, Katniss leaves. Doesn't respond. Can't respond. Because he's right. And that's the worst part. Month 7. The war accelerates. Gale's doctrine becomes rebellion standard. Infrastructure targeting. Civilian impact. Cascading failures. District 8 textile factories bombed. Capital clothing supply disrupted. District 3 electronics facilities destroyed. Capital communication degraded. District 9 grain stores burned. Capital food security compromised. Each operation successful. Each operation causing civilian deaths through secondary effects. The capital's civilian population goes from supportive to frightened to angry. Not at Snow, at the rebellion. At the terrorists destroying their lives, but their military capacity degrades anyway. Can't maintain operations without infrastructure. Can't project force without supplies. Can't coordinate without communications. The rebellion wins, steadily, brutally. At costs measured in thousands of civilian deaths, Katniss participates in some operations. Not all. She's assigned to reconnaissance, precision strikes, tactical operations that have clear military value. She doesn't participate in the infrastructure campaigns, doesn't argue against them anymore, just refuses, quietly. Coin allows it. You're still useful for other missions. I don't need you for everything. Just most things. By month 10, the rebellion controls 9 districts. The capital isolated, surrounded, weakening. The final assault begins. Month 10, day plus 287. The march on the capital. Combined rebel force, 15,000 fighters. District 13 military corps. District insurgents integrated. Unified command under Coin. The assault plan is Plutarch's design. Conventional ground forces as primary assault. Specialized teams targeting command infrastructure. Katniss leads one of those teams. Gale leads another. They don't speak anymore. Haven't for months, but they coordinate through military channels. Professional. Efficient. The capital's defenses are formidable. 25,000 peacekeepers. Automated systems. Fortifications. Prepared for siege. But their civilian population is exhausted. Months of infrastructure warfare have broken their morale. When rebel forces breach the outer districts, many capital citizens don't resist. They hide. They flee. They surrender. Some fight. Die fighting. The true believers. The ones who still think the system can be saved. 7 days of street-by-street combat. Buildings change hands. Same buildings change hands again. Katniss operates in the chaos. Small team, 4 rebels, moving through the city, targeting peacekeeper command posts, disrupting coordination. She's efficient, clinical. Every shot counts, every target eliminated. She's become exactly what the war needed her to become, a precision instrument. No longer a person who feels, just a person who functions. Day plus 292. The Inner Mansion District. Rebel forces reach Presidential Mansion. Final stronghold. Snow's last position. He's opened the mansion to capital civilian refugees. Thousands. Human shields. Gale's team reaches the perimeter, assesses the situation. We can shell it. Artillery. Collapse the building. End this. His second objects. There are children in there. Civilians. We'd be killing thousands. Thousands who are shielding the man who murdered tens of thousands. Who ran the games for 75 years. Who firebombed District 12. Gale looks at the mansion. We didn't come this far to stop now. We also didn't come this far to become him. Gale is quiet. Then, what would you have us do? Wait? Negotiate? Let him use those people as leverage forever. I'd have us find another way, a way that doesn't kill children to get to him. There isn't another way, not one that works, not one that ends this. Gale turns to his team. We assault. Infantry. Room by room minimize civilian casualties where possible. But we take that mansion. Today, the assault begins. Brutal. Close quarters. The peacekeepers inside fight desperately. The civilians scatter. Some killed in crossfire. Some escape. Some hide. Katniss's team enters through the east wing, working toward the center, toward Snow's location. She moves through rooms filled with capital luxury, artwork, sculptures, opulence built on 75 years of district suffering. She feels nothing looking at it, just keeps moving. Day plus 293. Snow's capture. They find him in the rose garden. Not hiding, waiting. 76 years old. Ill. Dying from the cumulative poisoning that's been killing him slowly for decades. Gale reaches him first. Gun drawn, Snow looks at him. The boy from District 12, the one who organized the work stoppage. I should have killed you then. Yes, you should have. Are you going to kill me now? That's the plan. Snow smiles, blood on his teeth. You've already become me. You destroyed the dam, killed thousands of civilians, bombed infrastructure that supported non-combatants. You've done everything I did, just with different justifications. I did what I had to do to win. So did I, for 75 years. So did I. Snow coughs. The difference between us is honesty. I never pretended the system was anything but what it was. You're pretending your revolution is something noble, something different. It isn't. You're just new management. Gale raises the gun. Any last words? Yes. Watch what she builds. Snow gestures toward where Coin will be. Watch what your president builds. Watch it become exactly what I built. Just with different faces. You're wrong. Am I? Ask her about the final Hunger Games. The one she's planning. Using capital children. She hasn't told you yet, but she will. And you'll agree to it, because you've already agreed to everything else. Gale shoots him. Single bullet. Through the heart. Snow dies. The war is over. Day plus 294. Coin's proposal. Victory Assembly. Rebel leadership. District representatives. Surviving victors. Coin presiding. We've won, the capital has fallen. Snow is dead. The Hunger Games are over. A new Panem begins today. Applause. Celebration. Relief. Then Coin continues. But we cannot move forward without addressing the past. The capital's citizens participated in 75 years of atrocity. They celebrated while our children died. They must understand what they supported. They must feel what we felt. Plutarch shifts uncomfortably. He knows what's coming. I propose a final Hunger Games, using capital children, 24 tributes from capital families. One final game, so they understand, so they remember. So justice is served, then we end the games forever. Silence, shocked, horrified, then some voices in support. They deserve it. Let them feel it. Justice. Others object. We're not them. This is wrong. We fought against this. Coin calls for a vote. District representatives. Surviving victors. Simple majority. The vote proceeds. District 11 representative. Yes. For Rue. For Thresh. For everyone we lost. District 8 representative. Yes. They watched us die. Let them feel it. District 7 representative. No. This is becoming what we fought against. One by one. The votes split. Gale votes yes. They need to understand. This ensures they understand. Finnick O'Dare votes no. I've seen enough children die. I won't authorize more. Johanna Mason votes no. I'm done with the games. Forever. In any form. The vote reaches Katniss. Everyone watching. She's the victor from District 12. The one who extracted tributes. The one who fought. She stands. No. Coin looks at her. You're voting no. Yes. I'm voting no. Because Peeta Mellark died in a cave 23 months ago telling me not to let the capital define what I am. Not to become their instrument. Their tool. Their product. Katniss looks around the room. We fought a war to end the games. If we restart them, even once, even for revenge. We're admitting the system was fine. We just wanted to be the ones running it. I won't vote for that. I can't. The vote continues. Final tally, narrow margin against. The proposal fails. Coin accepts it, gracefully. The will of the council is clear. There will be no final Hunger Games. We move forward. We rebuild. We create something new. But her eyes, watching Katniss, are cold. Day plus 300. The new government. Alma Coin's transitional authority. Constitutional convention scheduled. Elections promised. Once security conditions permit. The conditions never permit. The elections never happen. District 13's military becomes the new enforcement structure. Peacekeepers in different uniforms. Same function. Capital citizens face collective punishment. Property seizures. Restricted movement. Second-class citizenship. Justified as transitional justice. Temporary measures. Emergency powers. The measures never end. Gale receives a position in Coin's security apparatus, regional commander, oversees former capital districts, ensures compliance. He's good at it, efficient, fair within the system's constraints, also ruthless when necessary. He visits District 12's ruins twice a year, reconstruction ongoing, 800 survivors building something new. He plants food crops where the victor's village stood, where Katniss's house was, where Peeta's empty house waited. He doesn't rebuild them, just plants, wheat, corn, vegetables, turning death into life, or trying to. Year 1. Katniss returns. Katniss goes back to District 12's ruins, helps rebuild. Not as symbol, not as Mockingjay, just as person from District 12 who knows how to build things from nothing. Prim is there, 15 now. Training as doctor, working in the medical clinic, treating everyone. Rebels, former peacekeepers, capital refugees, doesn't distinguish. A body in pain is a body in pain. That's what Mom taught me. I help them all. Katniss hunts in the forest. Beyond the fence, there's no fence anymore. Just woods. She goes out for days, comes back with game, feeds the community, teaches the children. Tracking, trapping, archery, survival skills. Doesn't talk about Peeta publicly. In private, talks about him constantly. To the woods, to the empty spaces. Talks about what he would have thought. About Coin's government, about Gale's choices, about the war they won and the peace they built. Knows what he would have said. Can hear it clearly, in her head. His voice. We became what we fought against. Not exactly, but close enough. Close enough to matter. They walk in the meadow outside District 12. Rebuilt community behind them. Mockingjays singing in the trees. Prim speaks first. Do you think we won? We destroyed the capital. Ended the games. That's winning. Is it? Coin's government looks a lot like Snow's. Different faces. Same structure. People are afraid again. Just of different people. I know. Then did we win or just change who's in charge? Katniss is quiet, thinking. Then, I don't know. I think we won something. Just not everything. Not what it could have been. What would Peeta say? He'd say we became what we fought against. That we had a choice at every step, and we chose violence. Chose efficiency over principle. Chose winning over being good. Was he right? Yes. About everything. About what we'd become. About the cost. About the system reproducing itself. Katniss looks at her sister. But he's not here to say it. So nobody did. Nobody asked the questions he would have asked. Nobody argued against the brutal tactics. Nobody said, but what are we becoming? So we became it. Could you have said it? Maybe. If I'd been less broken, less angry, less focused on just surviving. But I wasn't those things. I was exactly what the war made me. A weapon, not a conscience. They walk in silence, Mockingjay singing. The birds that shouldn't exist. Capital mutations crossed with natural species. Surviving anyway. Thriving. Like the rebellion. Like the survivors. Like Panem itself. Changed. Scarred. Still going. Prim. What do we do now? We keep going. We build what we can. We remember what we lost. We try to be better than what we became. Katniss stops walking. And we remember him. Peeta. What he said. What he believed, what he would have fought for if he'd lived. We remember that. And we try to live it. Even if we fail. We try. Is that enough? It has to be. It's all we have. Year 5. The Memorial Garden. District 12's Memorial Garden honors everyone lost. Not just the war. Everything. The games. The bombing. All of it. Haymitch's plaque. Haymitch Abernathy. Victor of the 50th Hunger Games. Mentor to District 12. Died in the firebombing. He tried to save everyone. He couldn't. He tried anyway. Rue's plaque, Rue. District 11. 74th Hunger Games. Age 12. Covered in flowers by a girl who remembered her name. Peeta's plaque. Peeta Mellark. Victor of the 74th Hunger Games. Died day 10 in the cave from blood poisoning. He believed we could be better than the system that tried to break us. He died believing it. He was right. Lena's plaque. Lena Cartwright. District 12, 75th Hunger Games, age 14. Survived the extraction, died 2 days later alone in the arena. She deserved better. They all did. Katniss visits weekly. Prim joins her sometimes. Today they stand together, reading the names. Remembering, Katniss speaks to Peeta's plaque, quietly, like she's done 1,000 times. We won, like you asked. But close enough. But close enough. Coin's government is better than Snow's, but not as good as it could have been. Should have been. Because you weren't here to argue, to ask the questions, to make us think about what we were becoming. Gale became the weapon the rebellion needed. Efficient. Ruthless. Willing to make the brutal calculations. And nobody argued with him. Nobody said, "But what are we becoming?" So he became it. We all did. I tried to be what you said, to not let them define me. But I failed. I became their weapon anyway. Just aimed at different targets. I'm sorry. For failing you. For failing us. For failing the world you believed we could build. Prim touches her shoulder. He wouldn't want you to apologize. He'd want you to keep trying. To build what you can. To be better tomorrow than you were today. How do you know? Because that's what he was. Always trying. Always believing we could be better. Even when everything said we couldn't. Prim looks at the plaque. He died believing it. That means something. That's the thing Snow could never break. The thing the Capitol couldn't destroy. The belief that we could be better. They stand together. Two sisters. Survivors. In a memorial garden in rebuilt District 12. The mockingjays sing around them. Capital mutations that became symbols of resistance. Shouldn't exist. But do. Like hope. Like the belief in something better. Like the idea that people can choose what they become. Fragile. Damaged. Incomplete. But alive. Year 10. The historians visit. A historian from the new Capitol's archives visits District 12. Recording testimonies. Building history. Finds Katniss in the woods. Hunting. 26 years old. Scarred. Quiet. Alive. I'm writing about the revolution. About the 75th Games. The arena extraction. The war. I wanted to ask you about it. What do you want to know? What do you think you were fighting for? Katniss considers this. Long silence. Then, I thought I was fighting to end the games. To destroy the Capitol's system. To create something better. Did you succeed? Partially. The games are gone. The Capitol's power is broken. But what we built, it's not what it could have been. Should have been. Why not? Because the only person who would have made us ask the right questions died in a cave from blood poisoning when he was 16 years old. And without him, we won the war. But we lost something else. Something that mattered more. What did you lose? The chance to build something genuinely new. Something genuinely better. We built something that's less bad. That's not the same thing. Do you regret it? About 23 months of numbness. About waking up to fight for Gale. About the war. About the costs. No. I don't regret fighting. I regret how we fought. I regret what we became. I regret that the person who would have kept us from becoming it isn't here. She looks at the historian. Peeta Mellark died trying to tell me not to let the Capitol define what I am. I failed at that. We all did. We let the war define us. We let the violence define us. We let the brutal efficiency define us. And what we built reflects that. Could it have been different? Yes. If he'd lived. If he'd been there to argue. To question. To make us think about what we were becoming. It would have been different. Better. Not perfect. But better. How do you live with that? By remembering. By trying to be better. By teaching the children to ask the questions he would have asked. By making sure his voice, his belief in something better, doesn't die with him. Katniss shoulders her bow. And by hunting. By feeding people. By doing the small, practical work of keeping people alive. That's what he believed in. The small acts. The bread in the rain. The person who's hungry. And the food you have. That's civilization. The smallest unit. I try to remember that. The historian leaves. Katniss stays in the woods. Thinking about Peeta. About what he said. About the hollow victory. The revolution that succeeded militarily and failed philosophically. About Panem. Free from the games. Not free from fear, not free from authoritarianism, not free from the systems that crush people. Just different management, different faces. Same structure. The closing image. Sunset. The meadow. Katniss and Prim walking home. Katniss carries a hunting bag. Game for the community. Prim carries a medical kit. Supplies for the clinic. They walk together. 26 and 19. Sisters. Survivors. Builders. The mockingjays sing around them. Mutations that became symbols. Shouldn't exist, but do. Thriving behind them, District 12. Rebuilt. Smaller. Different. Scarred. Alive. Ahead. The future. Uncertain. Flawed. The world they built from war's wreckage. Not the world it could have been. Should have been. The world they have. The world they're still building. One day. One choice. One small act at a time. Katniss stops walking. Looks back at the memorial garden. Visible in the distance. Prim stops beside her. What are you thinking? That he was right. About everything. About what we'd become. About the cost. About the system reproducing itself. Does that mean it was all for nothing? No. It means we have to keep trying. Keep asking the questions he would have asked. Keep fighting for what he believed in. Even if we fail. Especially if we fail. Because the trying is what matters. The belief that we can be better. That's what he died believing. That's what we can't let die. They walk on, together. Into the sunset. Into whatever comes next. The mockingjays sing behind them. The mutations that survived. The symbols of resistance. The birds that shouldn't exist. Singing in the ruins. In the rebuilding. In the new world. Imperfect. Incomplete. Insufficient. But alive. Still singing. Let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.